Tears in Heaven is a song by Eric Clapton and Will Jennings, from the 1991 Rush film soundtrack. The song was written about the pain and loss Clapton felt following the death of his 4-year-old son, Conor. Conor fell from a window of a 53rd-floor New York apartment building owned by his mother's friend on March 20, 1991. Clapton arrived at the apartment shortly after the accident. Tears in Heaven is one of Clapton's most successful songs, as it reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart in the U.S. The song also stayed 3 weeks as number 1 on the American Adult Contemporary chart in 1992. Jennings, who worked with Clapton on the song, was reluctant at first to help him write a personal song. 3. The song was initially featured on the soundtrack to the film Rush, followed by the album Unplugged, and it won 3 Grammy Awards: a Euro Song of the Year, Record of the Year and Male Pop Vocal Performance at the 1993 Grammy Awards. It also won an MTV Video Music Award for Best Male Video in 1992. Clapton stopped playing it in 2004, as well as the song My Father's Eyes, stating, "I didn't feel the loss anymore, which is so much a part of performing those songs. I really have to connect with the feelings that were there when I wrote them. They're kind of gone and I really don't want them to come back, particularly. My life is different now. They probably just need a rest and maybe I'll introduce them for a much more detached point of view." Clapton eventually resurrected both songs for his Old Sock tour in 2013. Shortly after his single was released, he went on to the MTV Unplugged series and recorded a new version of the song. Writing and inspiration. The years following 1990 were extremely turbulent for Clapton. In August 1990, his manager and 2 of his roadies were killed in a helicopter accident. 7 months later, on March 20, 1991, Clapton's 4-year-old son Conor died after falling from the 53rd-floor window of his mother's friend's New York City apartment. He landed on the roof of an adjacent 4-story building. After isolating himself for a period, Clapton began working again, writing music for a movie about drug addiction called Rush. Clapton dealt with the grief of his son's death by co-writing Tears in Heaven with Will Jennings. A live performance of the song appears on Clapton's 1992 Unplugged. Unplugged topped charts and was nominated for 9 Grammy Awards the year it was released. Clapton made numerous public service announcements to raise awareness for child-proofing windows and staircases. In an interview with Daphne Barak, Clapton stated, "I almost subconsciously used music for myself as a healing agent, and lo and behold, it worked. I have got a great deal of happiness and a great deal of healing from music." In an interview, Will Jennings said, "Eric and I were engaged to write a song for a movie called Rush. We wrote a song called Help Me Up for the end of the movie. Then Eric saw another place in the movie for a song and he said to me, I want to write a song about my boy. Eric had the first verse of the song written, which, to me, is all the song, but he wanted me to write the rest of the verse lines and the release, even though I told him that it was so personal he should write everything himself. He told me that he had admired the work I did with Steve Winwood and finally there was nothing else but to do as he requested, despite the sensitivity of the subject. This is a song so personal and so sad that it is unique in my experience of writing songs." 4. Reception. In 2004, Tears in Heaven was ranked number 362 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Charts and certifications. Other performances. In 2005, Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne assembled an all-star cast to collaborate on Tears in Heaven. Sales from the recording benefited the Disasters Emergency Committee's Tsunami Earthquake Appeal and the tsunami victims in Southeast Asia. The lineup included Gwen Stefani, Mary J. Blige, Pink, Slash, Steven Tyler, Elton John, Andrea Bocelli, Katie Melua, Josh Groban, Scott Weiland, Robbie Williams, and Rod Stewart. Ozzy Osbourne and Kelly Osbourne also sang on the song. Other recordings of Tears in Heaven include Joshua Redman on his 1993 album Wish, Warren Hill on his 1993 album Devotion, The Choir Boys on their 2005 album The Choir Boys, James Galway on his 1994 album Wind of Change. Paul Anka on his 2005 album Rock Swings. Declan Galbraith on his 2006 album Thank You. Andrew Johnston on his 2008 album One Voice. Christopher Wheat on his 2014 single Tears in Heaven. Kenny Werner on his 2010 album Form and Fantasy. References. External links, full lyrics of this song at Metro Lyrics, Tears in Heaven entry at Songfacts, Tears in Heaven entry at Eric Clapton.